Hey, it's Marshall Ting with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside Report for this past week, the week of May 16th through the 21st. We had some pretty interesting stuff go on in the cattle market this past week. To start off with, we sold 18,599 head of cattle through your livestock markets across the state of Kentucky, which is really good. That's up about 1,300 head from what it was this time last week. Now, what did we see go through those yards? That's the big question. So I didn't see as many loads come through, or at least it's not as many 8-weight loads come through as we normally do. There's a whole lot more of your small deals as far as farmer feeder type deals coming in there, your 5s, 10s, 20s, just not a whole lot in your low lot sets coming through these barns. Now, the market, what do they call it? Well, they call it mixed trending, with anywhere from $4 lower to $5 higher. And I think a lot of that this week had to do greatly with your influence that we saw from the stock market this past week. This market's been very, very volatile. We saw a very, very sharp decline come in there on the backside of the week as far as your stock markets is concerned. And you saw it in your cattle market as well. So from about Wednesday back, you saw a really big a shift, so to speak. But let's talk about this. Your yearlings, though, however, your yearling cattle did sell steady to $3 higher. This week, we're actually back a little bit from what the CME is, but the CME was a little bit different this week, too. We'll talk about that here in a second. But anyhow, yearling steady to $3 higher is what the state called it. Now, let's talk about these lightweight cattle. Your grass cattle, not as high as they have been. Didn't see a whole lot of those really outstanding set sell through, and some of it was quality, and some of it I think is this market. But your 4-weight steers this week, you're looking at $1.55 to $2. I know that's a big spread, but that covers the whole week. Most of those this week, though, are going to sell in that $1.90 mark, $1.90 and change. Not as many of the 217s, 220s, 230s like we've been seeing. Now your 5-weight steer cattle, $1.55 to $1.90. And again, most of those are going to be back a little bit this week from what they have been. You saw a lot of them trading that $1.85, 87, some of them in the 90 mark. But no, not as many $2 or 205s or 210 5-weight steers this week. But let's talk about your yearling cattle, your 8-weight cattle. So like I said, not as many of them this week as we've seen. Saw some 6s, 7s, and even some 5s in there, but not a whole lot of 8s. But the 8s that traded pretty well. So here, to start them off here, these are your yearling cattle, your 8-weight cattle. Here's 120 all-black steers, 829 pounds on the average, 153 flat. Here's 63 black-coated steers, 836 pounds on the average at 154.95. And then here's another set, 63 head of these. These are all black as well. 849 pounds on the average, 153.90. And then here's a big set of bigger steers. Now here's 63 head of these. These are going to be a little bit more on the colored side. These are going to be Charolais cross steers, 861 pounds on the average at 144 flat. So that just goes to show you that still right there, it seems like as soon as you cross that threshold of a buck or 850 pounds, it starts to decrease greatly, and it's looking like the Charolais cattle are taking just a little bit more of a hit than that. But that's where your trend seems to be going. Now, let's talk about your CME feeder cattle index. Your CME feeder cattle index last week was just about as steady as the day is long the last 2 weeks, all the way up until we got to Friday. It's going to downward shift this week, but I'm hoping to see a rally come back to us. So start off the week Monday the 16th. CME feeder cattle index was 155.27. The 17th, it dropped just a little bit, 155.05. Now here's where your big shift was. Wednesday the 18th, you're looking at 153.46. So a pretty significant drop there. By the time you get to the 19th, 153.05. And then to close out the week on the 20th, 152.72. And so that's, like I said, that's a pretty solid, about a $3 shift down for the week. But I think that's pretty comparable to what everything else has been doing as far as your commodity markets and your stock markets and all that included. So kind of what to be expected. But now, are we hoping for a rally here starting the week off? Absolutely, yes. And to come in, yes, we're hoping for a rally. But if you have any questions on these, if you want to talk about this market shift or the CME feeder cattle index a little bit more in depth, feel free to reach out to us. Reach us at Superior Ag Insurance. Call Ian Thomas at 859-613-2453. Call Damon Reed at 859-200-9188. Check us out on our website, www.superioragins.com. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. See you soon.